On the FortiGate, we need to set up Fortinet single sign-on, which can be done by going under User and Device, then going to Authentication, Single Sign-On, and here let's create a new profile. For the type, we will select Fortinet single sign-on agent. Let's enter a name for this profile. Next, we will enter the IP address of the Active Directory domain controller that has the FSSO agent installed, followed by the authenticated password that we set up. And let's apply and refresh the changes. So for the FSSO profile that we added, it will show the status with the Active Directory server running the agent as active, which is reflected here for the status. So it's important to make sure that we see that. Next, we need to add some groups that will be mapped to our Active Directory groups, but the type will be FSSO this time and not LDAP, which was used as part of our active authentication. So let's go to User Groups. And here we're going to add a FSSO group for our staff users and our contractor users. So let's add the group for our staff users by doing Create New. For the type, we will select FSSO. We will enter a name for this group. For members, we will extend this. And this will show all of the containers and groups that were collected by the FSSO agent that is now integrated between our firewall and our domain controller. So here we will locate and select the staff Active Directory group, which is right there. Oops, wrong one. Let's try that one more time. Okay, and we're done. So let's go ahead and save our changes. Next, we're going to add a FSSO group for our contractors. So here we're going to enter a name for this group. Okay, the type will be FSSO. And under members, we will locate and select the contractors Active Directory group. Then OK to finish. Now we can add other groups, but that is all that we're going to do or add into our environment. Next, we'll go to our policies page. Okay. So we will add new policies specifying what our staff and contractor users can do based on the Active Directory group their account is a member of. But first, we need to create a new policy that will allow our servers access to the network without using any type of authentication. So to do that, we will create a new policy. Now our servers exist off of the LAN interface or the internal interface and communicating through or towards the internet through the WAN facing interface. The source would be our server network. Let's select that object. And the destination will be for any or all addresses on the internet for the internet related ports that we defined earlier. And we don't need to apply any additional security, so we will apply our changes. Our next policy that we will add will allow our staff Active Directory users to access all sites except for storage backup related sites and applications like Dropbox. So this will be configured similar to what we did for active authentication, except we will use the new FSSO groups that we just added. Okay, so within this policy, any device from the LAN communicating out the WAN interface from any source address, but for the source users, we will select the staff FSSO group. Okay, not the other staff group, which only applies for active authentication. So that's important. Okay, talking to any destination IP on the intranet, and we will allow all services. course, make sure that NAT is turned on. And we will also enable application control, and we will specify our staff security profile. And finally, let's go ahead and save our changes. We will add another policy for our contractors, which will block access to games, social media, and storage backup applications on the internet. So very similar, we will select the LAN interface, talking out to the WAN interface. The source address will be any address, and the source users will be the contractor's FSSO group. The destination address will be any address on the internet for any service. We have NAT enabled. We will enable application control and then specify the contractor profile. And let's save our changes.